Welcome back, ballers. Can I get a thumbs up in the chat? I want to make sure you guys can hear me. Mic check. Thank you, folks. About to get started. Welcome back, ballers, to a late night episode on the BalllDontLie channel. This one titled The End of Moira Rose. R.I.P. Catherine O'Hara, arguably the biggest headline in the news today. Reportedly dead at the age of 71. I want to apologize for maybe the, disorganization of this particular presentation. There are just essentially a handful of things I wanted to point out about this particular news story, which I found very interesting, which ties in with not only her death specifically, but things that I've been talking about, Cody's been talking about, Rambo's been talking about, all these different themes that we've been touching on for months on end now. And don't you guys think it's interesting that just like every single year, there's always celebrity deaths that take place shortly before, during, and after the Super Bowl every single year? And we're going to touch on some of those things tonight. So before I dive into the presentation, what I wanted to do was first play a clip from a standalone video that I did about a month ago during the holiday season, during Christmas, titled Home Alone is Satanic. So let me get that screen open here in just a second. So we'll start here. If you guys go back a month into my videos, you guys will see this particular video that I did called Home Alone is Satanic, and Cody was kind enough to be able to jump in for this particular live stream. This was back on December 4th of last year, and it's an interesting video. It's not that long. It's only 38 minutes. Ironically enough, murder equaling 38. But you guys will notice in the final minutes, I actually touch on Catherine O'Hara. I don't mention her name, but I talk about her her character as the mother in Home Alone. So check this out.
Yeah, like I said, I was gonna look that up earlier before we even got on, like the name origin, but I just never did. I'm glad I did it live so people could see it on in action. So. And
one last thing, I know I already said that before, but Maggie, you're on fire right now.
thank you for bringing this up. John Candy had what do you call it? He had a short stint in the first movie, and the mother, right? She's so desperate to get back home to Chicago to find her son. And this is important because, Cody, just make a little note of this. There's a whole theory that John Candy is essentially occulted in being Satan in this movie. Reason being is that she, the mother is at the airport, and she essentially said something along the lines of, I am willing to sell my soul to get on a plane or to get back home. And then all of a sudden, John Candy pops up like right after.
Right. Yeah.
And,
that's, yeah.
And he offers to, hey, I don't even remember exactly what he's a part of, but he's part of a tuba band or something that's traveling around. But once again, that could be something we can table for another decode.
So there you have it. The main point there being a couple things. Don't forget about Chicago, right? Home Alone, all the movies, at least the first three. I never watched the fourth one or the fifth one. To think there's that many is crazy, but those movies take place in Chicago, right? And isn't it pretty interesting that her birthday is March 4th, the same date that Chicago was founded? Look it up, March 4th. Found that interesting, not to mention that the biggest airport in Chicago is what? O'Hare. And her last name is Catherine O'Hara, right? So simple wordplay there. You guys know that I love my wordplay. Let me get the presentation back up here. But once again, another big talking point, right, is the satanic connections. And the first thing I wanted to point out here is today, her reported death was today, January 30th, the date written 1/30, where the Satanic Bible in the simplest cipher, A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, equals 130. Well, staying on the themes of Satanism for a second, for those that don't know, Anton LaVey is the founder of the Church of Satan, which was originally founded where? In San Francisco, where this year's Super Bowl is taking place, right? In Santa Clara, home of the San Francisco 49ers, the team named after the gold rush. We'll touch on that in a minute. But what are the odds that when you measure from today's date, the date of the reported death of Catherine O'Hara, up to Anton LaVey's birthday, it's exactly 71 days, where you had Catherine O'Hara die at the age of 71 years old, and financial collapse in Pythagorean gematria equals 71. Shout out to Cody. He's been doing a lot of great work for quite some time now, talking about a lot of predictive programming and symbolism, numerical connections, etc., with a potential financial collapse coming our way. Let's hope not, but it's not looking good, you guys. Now, instead of me calling this particular presentation the end of Catherine O'Hara, I wanted to focus on the character of Moira ROSE. And I say that because they've emphasized in the news, mainly Catherine O'Hara being the main character in Home Alone, which we just touched on, as well as Schitt's Creek. Now, I don't know if any of you guys have seen the show. I've definitely seen it. My wife's a big fan of it. It's funny. And as such, tonight we actually went back and watched the opening episode, and I was just blown away with just all of the symbolism that ties right back into what we've been talking about. So Schitt's Creek, look at this, you guys. For those that don't know, Schitt's Creek is essentially about a very wealthy family that loses everything because their financial manager screws them over, right? Essentially steals all their money. And as such, the very opening scene is the government coming in to seize all of their assets, including their house. And in their house is nothing but gold. It even starts with a pan of the very top. It's like a big mural covered in gold, right? Once again, the Super Bowl being held or hosted by the stadium where the San Francisco 49ers play, named after the gold rush. Well, what are the odds that the two of the four main characters of the show are the Levies, Eugene Levy and Daniel Levy, or Levy. I mean, however you pronounce it. Anton Levy. You guys see this? Anton Levy, Eugene Levy, Daniel Levy, or Levy, however you want to pronounce it. Very, very close. And I haven't mentioned this yet, but the stadium where the San Francisco 49ers play, where the Super Bowl is being held, is in Levi's Stadium. So you could technically say Levi as well, right? And this is just a clip from the opening scenes of this entire show. This is from the pilot. And of course, just like in every episode, they're going to mention that the executive producers of this show are Eugene and Daniel Levy. I think they pronounce it Levy, but either way, Levi, Levy. And no, this is not a horse in the background, but what it is it's a deer or a buck, right? So that whole financial connection, that's what this whole show is about, is a rich family losing it all and having to move to Schitt's Creek, right? So I just wanted to give you guys a visual here to show this is where the Super Bowl will be held. And you guys can see the Levi's logo all throughout, or the Levies, right? And what I thought was very interesting about the opening scene, or really just the whole pilot in general, right? The whole family is freaking out. They're losing everything. But Moira, especially, she says multiple things throughout the opening pilot of the show relating to her dying. Like she wants to die because she's lost all of her financial assets, right? This is from the opening scene where she says, "Where are you taking that? My very soul has been kidnapped, and there's no ransom." Later, she also says, "Pick up a hammer and nail this coffin shut." Right? No one else is really saying that in the family. They're saying other things, but they're not relating to their death, right? Now, when you think of Moira Rose, okay, I don't have visuals for this, but the theme of Rose has been going on for quite a bit now. This goes back to last year, if you guys may recall the CDC shooting, right, that took place, and there was a deputy or a cop who was killed in that shooting. I'm trying to remember his first name, but it doesn't really matter. But his first initial was D, last name Rose. Okay, it started there, and shout out to Myron, he got game. Just pointing out that connection, because at the time of that shooting was before what we just had happen in Chicago. See how things are coming full circle? In Chicago, Derrick Rose, D Rose, just had his jersey retired in Chicago just last week. Okay. And on top of that, go take a look at the Farmers Insurance Cup going on right now in the PGA, where you have Justin Rose on the top of the leaderboard right now. Okay. Those types of things. And it made me think about the ROSicrucians, right? Now, I'm not going to get too much into the weeds about the ROSicrucians, but one thing that really just smacked me in the face when I was doing some research is, check this out. According to the Rosicrucian manifestos, specifically the Fama Fraternitatis and Wikipedia and other texts, the legendary figure Christian ROSicrucians lived for 106 years. 106 years. It's a long time to live, but it's also a very specific number. Why? Because this year's Super Bowl that's taking place in Levi's Stadium in San Francisco, home of the Church of Satan, concludes the NFL's 106th season. Okay? And in closing, the last thing I'll really mention here is that let's not forget all the things that we've talked about with Drake and him being from Toronto, and his Toronto Blue Jays were in the World Series Game 1 on Drake's birthday. Mr. Six, representing the Six, right? And of course, Catherine O'Hara is also from Toronto. Okay? So things to think about there. I should have put a visual in here, but let's not forget that Drake May, the quarterback of the Patriots, will be playing in the Super Bowl in Levi Stadium in San Francisco. So that's all I had for tonight to share with you guys. I will run things back here, take a look at the comments. Quantum says, wait, there's 5 Home Alone movies? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. There's at least 4. John Candy played the devil in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. That's right, he did. He did. Yeah, there was I used to have a visual on it, but one of the biggest train crashes took place in San Francisco on the same date, not the same year, but the same date as the release date of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. So that's very fitting. O'Hara from the Lorax. Weren't y'all talking about Danny DeVito the other night? Yes, we were. He played the Lorax Orange Man. O'Hara sells air in bottles because they're cut all out of trees. Okay. If the Patriots lose in Super Bowl 60, their record will be 6-6 in Super Bowls. Church of Satan founded in 66 in San Francisco. That's very interesting because so were the Chicago Bulls. They were founded in 66 as well. Moira Rose. Oh, Moira Rose, 130 in reverse ordinal. How did I miss that one? I didn't even type Moira Rose into the calculator. Maybe I rushed this a little bit, but I wanted to get a video out since this is the hottest topic in the news. The actress who played the character passes on 130. Yep. And as I touched on here, the Satanic Bible equals 130 as well. What else we got? According to the Sporting News NFL Power Rankings, the Seattle Seahawks remained the favorite to go. Okay. Yeah, and shout out to Ricky and Rambo. Make sure you guys go check out Rambo's video on patreon.com/the truth codes. You can also see the video on his Instagram at the truth codes, where they talk about a lot of the hot dog symbolism and Bill Gates eating a hot dog right in front of the Levi's store in New York, the same time that all of the billboards are flashing Kraken, where Seattle is home of the Seattle Kraken in the NHL. Catherine O'Hara equals 126, passes 10-26 days after her last birthday. Nice. It's a good one. I know it's Schitt's, but if you say Schitt's Creek with no H, it equals 47 and 160. And Catherine equals 47 and 160. Could be a play on words. Yep, absolutely. That's kind of the running joke, right, of the show. Schitt's Creek and all of the family that grew up in Schitt's Creek, all of their last name is Schitt. So you have like Roland Schitt and Mutt Schitt and all these other things. I don't want to get flagged for too much profanity here, but I'm saying it with the CH, not the SHIT. But anyways, yeah, thank you guys for the contributions. Really appreciate that. Look at this, short and sweet, under 20 minutes. Unless there's anything else you guys want to add so far. I mean, there could easily be a part 2, part 3, part 4 on this. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I know it's late, pretty much across the board now. It's almost midnight here where I'm at. Gene Splice says, up Schitt's Creek without a paddle is the colloquial saying. Yep, sure is. Awesome as always, AJ. Thank you so much, Maggie. I really appreciate it. We'll keep it here. We'll keep it short and sweet. Please make sure to hit that like and subscribe for anybody who might be new here. Really, really appreciate your guys' love and support. We are definitely going to be diving a lot deeper into this on Tuesday with our weekly podcast, Eye to Eye, with AJ, Rambo, and Cody. Like I always say, best night of the week. Distraction Factory says, any thoughts on the Golden Gate Bridge on that logo? I mean, not particularly the Golden Gate Bridge on the logo. Obviously, they have it in there because that's where the Super Bowl is being played. There's a lot of twin pillar symbolism that Rambo has touched on quite a bit. But shout out to Donut as well, pointing out the color alignments with the emergency broadcast system when there is a blackout, so to speak. It's the exact same colors. So just some food for thought for you guys. I hope you guys have a very happy and safe weekend. And you know, if I don't roll out another video before Tuesday, I will see you guys on Tuesday night, and really appreciate you guys very, very much. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll wrap it up there, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.